Okay, almost wasn't working. Welcome to the buying guide. I'm going to give everybody a second. If you are watching the replay, please let me know. Welcome. I am so happy to hang out with you or for me to have an opportunity to share about our offerings. So this is actually my favorite thing to do. I'm so excited. I have a few different offerings that I'm going to share with you. All right, let's give everybody a chance to join. Okie dokie, welcome. Somebody says hi, hello, Facebook user, whoever you are. Let's see who else is here. All right, Jay's in the house. Hello. I haven't even introduced Jay this whole time. You guys know Jay. She's been on the team for the past 5 years, I want to say. She's incredible human being to whom I am very thankful for everything that we have achieved in this business. It's very important to have somebody in your company as time goes. Otherwise, doing this whole thing alone can be a little bit difficult, you know. And we started working together. I think she was working maybe 3-4 hours a week, and and the work has expanded, obviously. So welcome, everybody. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take the opportunity to walk you through some of the programs that we have available. And if there's any questions, pop them in the chat. Jay is going to help me with some links. Actually, I think I can post links here. We will see. Let's see if this works. I'm going to try to post the links, and you guys tell me if it came through. Okay. Can you guys see this? Whoa. Posted it 3 times. Is that weird? Oh, I posted on YouTube. Okay. Somebody could let me know if it showed up. That would be great. We'll see. All right. So where do I want to start? So the first thing is one-off private strategy consult for new clients. So typically I don't do one-off work, but I'm making an exception. If you're completely new to me, we have not worked together, we haven't met together for a really good deep dive session, I'm making this available. Obviously, you know, one-off is usually quite a bit of investment, but I'm making this available for those of you I've never worked with for $250, and you can just book that directly. There's no applications, just book it. And then you reach out to Jay through the Team Visionary Circle link profile, excuse me, I'm a little distracted today. And she'll help you schedule this. So that's a one-off private strategy consult, right? And if you're unsure about some of the programs, you want to do that. I don't do free consults, but if you have any questions at all about our programs and, you know, about any of what we discussed today, you can post them here, or you can also reach out to Team Visionary Circle. Jay typically responds there, but if I'm needed there, I'm totally happy to chime in. If there's anything that you really need to work out privately with me, you're always welcome to send me a DM, you know, a friend DM or whatever, or feedback or request or anything at all. You're always welcome to connect, okay? So now, the most exciting thing that I have today is the program school. So the program school is a month-long-ish immersion. So this is something that I've never done before, and it was really calling to me, and here's why. We saw the clients in QLE and QI, which is our other masterminds, get tremendous results within a month, and then kind of coast and, you know, go to the next level sometimes. But like, really, there's so much that can be accomplished when you're in a zone for a month. So I created this container that the intention of the container is to do the following. It's to help you download your body of work, help you organize it, help you put it in a really beautiful program, help you create the structure around it and the technology and the logistics and everything that goes with it, and to create your authentic launch strategy. So I'm going to break this down for you and how this works. So first of all, it starts on July 5th, and it's on pre-sale this week up until Saturday. for 2444, and then it goes to regular pricing, which is going to be 3444. Okay, there is a payment plan available. There's no refunds, nothing like this. It's really just it's really the commitment. But I want to tell you about what's included in it, and I encourage you to listen with your heart and see, like, okay, is this something that I want to be part of? Does this make sense for me? Rather than with your head, kind of listen to your heart as I describe these offerings, because like we talked on Monday, it's kind of like, when you feel that excitement, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, then you say yes. And when it's like, I don't really want to, but I feel like I should, then maybe that's not the thing for you. Make sense? So this immersion is for the liberators, the morphosi, whatever the plural is, right? It's really for the folks who are committed to transformation and liberation of humanity through trauma healing, through, whatever your modality, through coaching, through maybe even helping those who do that build their businesses in the form of business consulting. Like, you're really, really committed. You're kind of on the journey where you kind of hit the limit with the perfectionism, right? And trying to build a better ego. And now you're like, okay, I get it. I really, really want to help the world liberate and heal. Okay. So now, for some of you, it's going to be like, okay, I don't even know, where do I start? And I need somebody to guide me through the structure of this, right? Okay. How do you create the content for the program? How do you organize it? What format, pricing, blah, 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 blah. And I want somebody to just kind of give me like one thing, put that one thing in front of you. Let's do this together. Let's do it as a group. Let's get it done. Let's share with others. Whoo, I'm so excited about this. Go to the next thing, right? So that's for some of you already have an incredible program, but you have grown, right? Which means, like, it's time for your soul resonance work, for your new soul resonance work to come out. But there's like some confusion in the head around it. You're not just quite sure about it yet. And you really want to make sure that you create something that is so effective and so in alignment, because in order for you to sell your program, you have to believe in it, right? Especially if it's a new program, you really have to believe in it. You have to be sure in it. You have to trust that it's going to work, especially, that is the case also if you're launching something new for your own sake. You want to make sure that it's something that is embodied, something that is really going to work for people, right? So for those of you who are kind of redoing and rebuilding and moving to the next phase of your business, this is definitely it for you, okay? So how does this work? We're going to have 5 different modules. Actually, I'm going to share with the intentions of this with you guys, because everything starts with an intention, and it's a collective intention of the group that is participating in this, right? So, and then that's for you too. When you hold a container, you sort of have to hold the intention for the whole container for everybody who joins, and that is the magic of it, right? Then you get all the help of the universe for the transformation and for the creation to happen within the container. So the intention is for all of you who join or who are already in it, because it's actually included in the visionary circle for those of you who are in it already. For you to start developing and really streamlining your body of work, right? For you to download it, for you to really get out on paper, on pen and paper, into your book, right? Into your own personal, where's my books? I don't have them here. For your own personal resonance code book, to start pulling everything that needs to happen. And that is going to be different based on the path that you're on. If you're on a path of the coach or a teacher, it's going to be different. If you're in the path of the liberated, there's going to be a little bit different process that involves more of your own present and past personal triggers, the things that you notice, the feedback that you get from clients, and you're going to be collecting it. You're going to be organizing, you're going to be creating that, right? Number 2, for us to sort of leave the space of fear behind and to really move into total alignment and integrity when it comes to those programs. Meaning, we're not going to be creating programs that we think that people buy. We'll really, really be taking a look at what is really going to shift the consciousness of the planet, and what do I really want to bring to humanity? What do I really want to bring to the people around me? And when you do that, when you start coming from the place of love, the rest is going to start organizing itself, if that makes sense. Then the intention is to really equip you with the practical aspects of the program creation, because there's some logistical stuff, right? There's some organizational stuff. You got to get yourself organized. It needs to make sense to the people around you. I try to keep the technology, we're actually simplifying it down as much as humanly possible so that you can really run it by yourself. You don't need a team of people. Like, I'm going to be doing it so simple. The tech is going to be so stupid simple. It's like, I really want all of the techie stuff because it doesn't really matter that much, right? Whether you're presenting this on Kajabi or some other fancy platform, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you the simplest of the simple systems that you can use, okay? And, for those of you who want to go fancy and complicated, like, that's there too. Like, I've done it both different ways. But, I really recommend, the logistically easiest way that delivers it to people, because it is about the energy of the content, no matter how fancy it is, and, video, images, and whatever, right? And the last intention is for you to design your soul resonance launch strategy that is really, really, really exciting for you and that is right for you, okay? So how do the phases of the program go? There's going to be 5 different phases. The first one is really the downloading the legacy body of work, okay? This is where you learn how to go from student teacher, the one who is learning and being like the encyclopedia from all the knowledge. What is the progression to become the soul teacher, right? The one who creates their own beautiful body of work that you're really, really proud of. And it's so unique. Nobody else is doing out there because it's coming from you, okay? That deals with a lot of the guilt and shame that people have at the beginning where they feel like they're a copycat, right? Number 2, how do you set intention? How do you hold space for the container? When you learn from others, how does that work? Right? The associated blind spots, when you start feeling the guilt of, I'm translating other people's stuff. How do you deal with that? Right? Cleaning that up. Then we're going to cover 2 different journeys. One is of the liberator, right? Where you really are taking your own path of your own blind spots, of your own triggers, of your own path, and you're still doing the work. The intention is for you to also continue doing the work, for you to be hyper aware and hyper focused on your own healing during this month, right? So as you do that, you're going to be getting, you're going to be part of the circle. You're going to be getting the hints. You're going to be getting the little tiniest triggers that are going to be coming to you. You're like, okay, that belongs there. That belongs there. Oh, that reminds me what I had to transcend a couple of years ago. That needs to be in that, right? There is the signature modality creation that I want to cover with you guys, right? There is one thing to for you to develop a way, your signature way that really works for you to help your clients transcend and transforms the wounds and the shoulds or whatever it is. Then package it into your signature modality. So you go from signature topics to signature modality to signature system creation that you can package and you can present to people so that not just their soul, but also their brain understands on some level why to work with you and that your system works. Make sense? There's going to be work groups and there's going to be Q&As. The work groups, I'm going to give you an example. This is so magical. Because when you work with somebody else, we split people into, groups 2 and 3, and you're going to get feedback from folks who know your work or who are related to your work, so that they can help you create, okay, this is what I would want to learn from you. We did a little hot seats like that in a small group a few weeks ago, and we had a few clients. I think it was a total of like 6 or 7 clients go through that and have a small group of people give them feedback on what they want to learn from them in their program, and it was really magical. When you have a group of humans just kind of give you, okay, so you teach people how to write books. Okay, this is what I want to learn from you. And people just, it was so magical when you work with somebody like that and you get the courage and then you get to ask them for feedback. Okay, this is it. What do you think? What's missing? And you get to go back and forth until your program is like, okay, I really love this. This is everything that needs to be in it. I'm ready to put this out there. Okay, so that's the phase one. The phase two is going to be developing your signature program set, right? So once you have the body of work, the signature formula, the signature system, whatever you have, and you're like, okay, this is my book. I love it. It's solid. Then you go into, all right, let's make this logistically a thing, right? So what does this turn into? A one-on-one. You're going to learn everything there's to learn about one-on-one. A group program creation, hybrid program creation, mastermind creation, VIP days. Which one is right for you? How do you create it? How do you put together an info sheet, landing page, things like that, website copy stuff, call frequency? How often do you go into calls with clients? How do you run them? Actually, we don't get into that yet. What's the program length that is appropriate for you? This is some of the stuff that I cannot give you a formula for this. Well, I can, right? But everybody's program is going to be different length, right? But I can give you a lot of different guidelines. So you can kind of go into, okay, what does resonate with me based on my ideal client audience? Program pricing, how do you handle guarantees and trial periods, yes or no? Contracts and billing, how do you simplify that? How do you deal with that? That sort of thing. So that's phase two. Phase three is working with clients. So this is where it gets sticky. This is where most trauma happens for business owners. And this is also the area where they fear the most. So we're going to cover dealing with clients who don't want to continue paying. What do you do? How does it work? How do you prevent that from happening? Okay. What do you do when you attract clients who are like, who have like the defense, that doesn't resonate with me. I don't align with this or whatever. Or clients who are in a little bit of a victim mode and you feel drained. You're constantly pulling them, right? How do you make sure you're speaking to the right person when you're talking to your ideal client? How do you work with structures that get in the way of client success? What are the different archetypes that get in the way of their success on their end and on your end? How do you lead group sessions effectively? How do you deal with personalities? How do you deal with your own nervousness around group sessions? What are the different dynamics that can show up? What are the different blind spots that are there for you? Okay. Okay. Also, the energetics of speaking to the level of clients that we desire. Right? How do you do that? How do you speak authentically to the clients that you desire? Support and boundaries. Rescheduling, people not showing up, not doing the work, or asking too much of you, that sort of thing. How do you set boundaries when somebody is a little bit taking advantage of your time? So that's phase three. Phase four, this is where we get into launching. You're going to be creating your signature launch strategy. So I'll take you through the things that we have done that I know how to do. So we're going to be talking about retreats. I will cover the 7-day retreat model. By the way, this is so good for the beginners. For those of you who are new to business, this is really how you build a brand and how you break yourself out of your visibility blocks very, very quickly. It also has brought tremendous success to our clients. If you guys go to the page, you go to any page, you'll see tons and tons of testimonials of people who went from literally zero to making a lot of money through the 7-day retreat format. Okay. And I will say it is really up to your individual path. Some people go full out. They go and they say, you know what, I'm going to invite tons of people into my retreats. I might even run some ads. I might do this. I'm going to explode it. And they have $150,000 income on the first retreat. And some people go like, I'm just going to invite 3 of my best friends. I really want to run through this. I really want to feel good about how I teach on camera. And we will see We had somebody like that actually invite 8 people, into their retreats. 4 of them showed up and 4 of them paid in full for their program at the end of it. She had $20,000 cash in the bank at the end of 7 days. And it was this kind of like, I don't really want to invite anybody because I don't know how I'm going to do, right? So that happens. I don't recommend that, like if you're going to go out, you might just go all out. But I want to just to see if I can get your heart excited about this. The 7-day retreats, are they a lot of work? Yes. You don't have to do 7-day retreat. You can do shorter. But it's such a beautiful opportunity, because at that point, you're going to have your body of work downloaded. You're going to know your topics, and you're going to separate out the 10% of the topics that are not going to be in your paid program. And this is your opportunity to give to people for free and really, really, really enjoy it. If you go into it with like, no pressure, I really just want to give. I want to give this gift to people. I know it's going to be transformative, right? For those of you who are on the Monday sessions, who found it transformative, right? Who found it amazing? Piece of free content. Like, I'm going into it as I want to give you something so good that it's better than the last thing you paid for, right? So it's kind of like, when you go into the launch creation, we're going to be talking about the energetics of this and how to do it the right way. So you're not putting a bunch of pressure on yourself. Okay, I have to produce, I have to close clients, whatever, because the energy is just going to drain you, right? So as you create your retreat, whether it's a 7-day retreat, I'll give you all the A to Z's on that. I'll give you all the structures, whatever, right? Or it's a 2.5-day retreat, which we have done as well successfully. Or at 1-day retreat, you do something like what we did on Monday, 3 sessions a day, give people homework in between. It's like, have an intention, create a thing, create, an energy around this, and really set the intention for people to start seeing things differently and newly and step into the new level of themselves, right? It's a really cool thing. And you will kind of pick and choose, okay, this really resonates with me. This really sounds good to me. And you start plotting this out and dreaming this up in your head and creating the branding around it and really having fun with it, right? So I'm going to walk you through all the structures. Email launch structure. We're going to talk about that too. Email launch structures are really, really, really good once you have built an email. But here's the thing. For those of you who don't have an email list, doing the free launches, free events are such a brilliant way to build your email list, because people are always giving you email address to come to this, right? So then you have them on your email list. We have had so many groups out there and Facebook and whatever, but the email list is the one thing that is constant. The info session structure. So this is an info session, right? The buying guide is an info session. I absolutely love this because it really sets the tone. It has integrity. I said it in advance. I'm going to talk sales. I am so excited to talk to you about what I'm selling. That's all this is about, right? People who don't want to know how to work with us, they're not here, right? So then I'm going to email it out. I'm going to post this and whatever, so that people who really want to know how to work with us have access to knowing how to do that, right? So the info session structure and the principles and all that. The energetics of selling. We're going to cover that too on a retreat. I'm not going to go into a whole sales thing, because that's another thing we have going in, I think, September with the Visionary Circle. But I will cover some of this as it relates to the launches. Okay, so that's phase 4, and phase 5 is going to be a little bit advanced. That's going to be for some of you who have been on the path for a while, who've been on a journey for a while. You have a successful business, and for some of you, because you're going to have access to the recordings for another year, this is going to be for save later. Okay, so the phase 5, we're going to talk about 7-figure structure. We're going to talk about team support. We're going to talk about Ascension programming. What are the different ways that you can ascend people from one lower ticket program to another, to the next? How do you break this down? How do you think through this? Referral management, renewal management, the ebbs and flows of your expansion, right? There is such thing as beginner's luck. It really is a thing where when you do a retreat for the first time, oftentimes it's going to be like, whoa, where did all these people come from? This is so cool. I'm making so much money. Then you get into some ebbs and flows. How do you manage that? What does it mean when you get stuck, when you plateau, when you go down? just kind of managing this on an emotional level, because the ebbs and flows and the disappointments and the hurt that come with it, and all these things that come at you, being able to weather the storm, being able to come back, being able to heal through it, things like that. So those are the 5 phases. So the structure of it, we're going to meet strictly for an hour, about 4 times a week. Sometimes there's going to be a Q&A added. Sometimes we start on Tuesday. Sometimes we start on Monday. It's not a huge time commitment, because it's going to be like do the work, but there's going to be a lot of magic in this. I recommend you be there live if you can. If you can't, no problem. You're going to have access to the recordings. This is not in the Visionary Circle. It's kind of different, because I prefer everybody be there in person for the Visionary Circle on Thursdays. But for this, it's like, I just trust you to manage your time. If you want to show up live and ask the question and I can answer them live and whatnot, that's one thing. If you have a job and you want to do it on your own time in the evenings, or you want to save parts of it for later, it's like, okay, I just want to focus on a downloaded body of work, but I don't quite am ready to work in the launch structure, I'm going to save this for later, you're welcome to do that too. Okay, so that's the programming school. Let me check the chat. Okay, before I go into, okay, thank you, Cynthia, so good to see you here. Danny is here. Yes. Awesome. Denny said, I got great nuggets from the free session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm realizing this moment that I have been focusing on passive strategies like ebook. Okay. Yeah. So I got a notch about this yesterday, and I forgot to mention this to you, Danny. So especially for beginner entrepreneurs, the passive launch strategies, the courses on membership, there's a reason I don't teach them. Okay. Until you hit a certain level in your business. You have been in business for a while. You have a dedicated audience. You know what you're doing. It does not make sense to do passive stuff. It doesn't make sense to do courses. It doesn't make sense to do memberships. It is about learning from your clients. It is about developing your body of work. And also, you're growing so much. By the time you're done creating a course, it's outdated, right? The body of work is constantly updating. Make sense? Thank you so much, Eva. Yes. So, okay. So, if somebody, somebody, Jay, if you could put a link to the checkout page. This is on between now and Saturday. It's on pre-sale. And it's like $1,000 off. And after that, it's going to be on regular sales price. So let me transition. This is the programming school. It's going to be fun. It's like, I'm just so excited, you guys. It's going to be so much fun creating this together. I'm actually going to be using it for myself to create the next program, or one of the next program, which is called Unravel, right? So I'm going to be going through it with you guys, being my own client and doing the work. So I'm like, I'm creating this for myself, right? It's like, because there's like so much space to really like sit and to think and to reflect and talk to the spirit, like, it's like, what do I really, really want to create? What is going to be so magical? Like really pull out all the shoulds, pull whatever bullshit. And, here's another thing. You get to practice with each other. There's a community. So if you're working on a modality, we're going to have some kind of opportunity where you get to practice with each other. I'm not quite sure about this guided meditation. Let's nail this together. Okay. So let's see, because I want to do this myself. I want to dive deeper into some of the emotional release stuff and like hash it with you guys. So there might be like some extra sessions we get to do that. All right. So no promises though. I kind of keep the ebbs and flows. There is a specific schedule posted. Sometimes, because I'm a human, and sometimes human things happen, sometimes there could be changes in schedule. Please know that's what it is. There's going to be a week break. There's going to be 1 week, first week, second week, then there's going to be week break where I'm in a week full of ceremonies with a Brazilian tribe of Yanawanawa. Anyway, they're coming to Costa Rica. I'm going to sit with them. Then there's another 2 weeks. And then I'm going into silent meditation. You guys are welcome to join me. It's going to be a full week of silence. And then we're going to come back for the final week, something like that. Okay. So there's weeks off where you get to catch up. You're going to still have each other. You get to integrate all the fun stuff. Okay. So that is that. Transitioning. Oi, thank you. Eva is creating magic. I see Eva creating magic. You, not me. Okay. So the next thing, y'all, is the visionary circle. So the visionary circle is a small, tight-knit mastermind. And this is the people who are in there, I cannot even tell you enough amazing things about them. So what it is, it's a mastermind / group program. I do more teaching than anybody else, but there's a group harmony. There is a mastermind. There's intuitive feedback to each other that we give sometimes. And the visionary circle, by the way, includes the program school. It includes recordings of the resonance marketing that we did. It includes all the schools that we have going on. So the visionary circle members always have access to everything else. Our visionary circle time is our mastermind time. It's a feedback to go back and forth. It's a way, I give the members feedback on everything that's, that they present in the group. There's just so much in there, and you just kind of have to feel if you're part of, if you feel like you want to be part of this. This is about community. This is literally for the liberators out there. It's like that's who we have in there. People are like, yeah, I'll plug the world out of the matrix. This is the morphosis of the world. These are the healers, the teachers, the coaches, it's just so good. And it's from like a mod level of woo to really, really woo and anything in between. It's really, really wonderful. Now, in terms of levels of business, this is like across the spectrum. It is more about the mindset and where you are at rather than about where you're in business. We have folks who have been in business for 20, 30 years who have a very established business. And we have folks who are just launching their first program. Right. So it's a very kind of weave in and out, and it's more about the how we do it. Right. So there's an application to the visionary circle because I want to make sure that, I just kind of want to review it. So that we make sure it's a fit. And if it's not, I might recommend that you do the programming school first and then you decide, or maybe you wait a few months or something like that, right? This is a very small circle. I like to keep it small. There's not a lot of seats included, quite frankly, but yes, that's the visionary circle. Let's see. Okay. So what is included? We have a weekly masterminded call on Thursday. It's usually like hour and a half. Sometimes we go over. There's teaching, there's collaboration. You have A to Z materials available to you on pretty much everything. Like all my teaching materials is available to you as part of the visionary circle. A to Z on anything you want. Okay, you have our past sessions recordings there. There is the resonance marketing school we just did a couple weeks ago that is really focusing on the first step that many of you have to take, which is really cleaning up your social media, figuring out what is it that my heart wants to talk about? How do I really fully bring myself into my social media, into my Facebook profile, groups, whatever you have? How do I really be fully authentic in a way that really is me? How do I create a really fully authentic brand? Things like that. So that's a week-long thing that we did. It's not a lot of time investment. It's about 5 hours of watching and doing the homework. The program school is included, which starts on July 4th. Sales school we're going to be doing at some point, probably September. And then Unraveled, which is the magic that's going to be created, that gets included. So that's the visionary circle. There's a landing page that Jay put in there for you guys. It just, it's just like something you kind of have to feel or not, or, there's just, yeah, this is just us. So, and if you're somebody who wants a community, I recommend you jump in. So private coaching, I'm just a few notes about that, because this is mentoring with me is not for everybody, right? First of all, it's a pretty high investment for the beginner entrepreneur. So this is really for those of you who either have a lot of money and really feel it. I'm not going to stop you if you're like, I have so much savings in my bank account, but I really feel this. Okay, go for it. But typically it would be for somebody who is at about $200,000 of their revenue, and they're really feeling that us working together one-on-one can really help them. The investment is $40,000 for 6 months. And I would say there's going to be things that I cannot help you resolve, right? We're going to go into some rabbit holes. There might be a retreat that you might need to take on. You might have to go to a silent retreat or do some medicine or work with somebody helps to help clear the things that I can't clear, right? So if that's the only investment you're making, I wouldn't recommend that, because there are some other things that might pop us in our work together. Because my commitment really is that actually this is really for people who have reached kind of the pinnacle of the self-perfectionism, and they're really to break it all down and create a business that is really truly magical, right? But I'm not going to limit it to it. This is like, if you really feel that our work together is something that is going to be really beneficial to you, you feel it in your bones, then Jay is going to post, there's an application for this, and we can work this out. In the investment, it's actually not that much when you consider what's included at all, because you have the access to the Visionary Circle, you have the programming school, and you will get all the QLE and QI content that we had, a program that we ended that is designed for 6 to 7 figure scaling, okay? So you're gonna have access to all of that. I'm not going to withhold anything from you, but we're going to, you're not gonna consume it all. We're going to figure out what really makes sense to you. What it includes is a strategy VIP day with me, up to 3 private 60 minutes call a month. You're going to schedule them when you need them, okay? But it's use it or lose it, and you're going to have DM access. We go back and forth and we solve your problems, okay? So either it's paid in full or there's a deposit and then a payment plan, in which case it's a little bit higher. Oh, there's a thing about the pricing on the Visionary Circle I wanted to go back to for a minute. So with the Visionary Circle, the pricing, I'm so sorry I didn't give you this. For the Visionary Circle, the paid in full pricing is $7,777, which includes the programming school, the sales school, the resonance marketing school, the Unravel whenever that happens, when I'm ready, and all the sessions and all the materials and all that. It's the pricing is incredible for the value. For those of you who need to do a payment plan, there's still 3-month deposit-ish at the beginning. And this is one thing that I started doing, because I really would hate for somebody to come as a try and see. It's a 6-month commitment. I don't want people to come in and try and see. I just want to do 1 month and then see if I like it and get out, right? Because it really doesn't work for the group. It doesn't work for the energy of the group to have people in and out. It really, so it's structured that way, okay? So that's the Visionary Circle pricing and the one-on-one work. Okay, so I think that's about it. Let me check the chat really quickly. Okay. All right, so that's it, unless there's any other question. Thank you guys so much for being here. The links are on the chat. Don't forget, until Saturday, there's the early birdie. And Team Visionary Circle is who you message if you have questions. Jay is managing that. If you have private questions for me, message me as well. Applications is included. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the work that you did this week. If you haven't caught up on sessions 1, 2, and 3, go catch it before we take it down, okay? So love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everyone. Thank you.